Today, we are diving into one of the biggest questions in all of heart health. Can you actually clean your arteries with the food you eat? We're going to cut through all the noise, look at some really groundbreaking science, and give you a clear, actionable plan. Let's get right into it. So this is the big one, right? Is it really possible to clear out your arteries, to reverse that plaque buildup just by changing what's on your plate? You know, for the longest time, the general consensus was probably not. But a new wave of scientific research is telling a very different, and honestly, a much more hopeful story. Okay, so before we can get to the solution, we have to really understand the problem. It all comes down to a process called atherosclerosis. Let's take a quick look at what's actually going on inside your blood vessels. So, atherosclerosis, that's just the fancy medical term for the hardening and narrowing of your arteries. It's caused by this stuff called plaque, which is basically a sticky, gunky mix of cholesterol, fat, and other cellular junk. As this plaque builds up, it's like sludge in a pipe, you know? It just makes it harder and harder for blood to get through. But how does this whole mess even start? Well, it's not just about having LDL, or what we call bad cholesterol. The real trouble begins when that LDL gets something called oxidized. The best way to think about it is like metal rusting. This chemical reaction makes the cholesterol inflammatory and super sticky, which allows it to burrow right into the delicate lining of your artery. And that's the spark that really ignites the entire plaque-building fire. For decades, really, the best we could hope for was just to slow this process down. But now we have solid scientific evidence that we can do way more than that. We can actually reverse it. And this is where the story gets really, really exciting. This number right here, this is a total game changer. There was a landmark 2-year study called Direct Carotid. They put people on a specific diet and then used these incredible 3D ultrasounds to track what was happening inside their arteries. And the result? A significant 5% regression in plaque volume. This wasn't just slowing down the damage, this was a measurable reversal. They were literally cleaning their arteries with food. And look, this isn't some fringe idea from a random health blog. This is a direct quote from Circulation, which is one of the top cardiology journals in the entire world. The scientific community is confirming it. The right dietary changes can actively reverse the damage inside your arteries. Okay, so if diet is the tool, then what exactly should be in our toolkit? Well, researchers have zeroed in on a core group of foods that consistently show these powerful artery-clearing effects. Let's take a look at what they are. Here it is. This is your core toolkit for artery health. But let's not just read a list. Let's understand why they work. You've got fatty fish like salmon, loaded with anti-inflammatory omega-3s that calm down the irritation in your artery walls. Then there's extra virgin olive oil, which is packed with polyphenols that fight that rusting or oxidation we talked about. And you've got nuts, leafy greens, berries, legumes, and whole grains. Each one brings something unique to the table, from healthy fats to artery-scrubbing fiber. Every single one of them plays a specific, important role. Now, what's really important to understand is that these foods don't just work in isolation. They are the building blocks of 2 of the most well-studied and effective dietary patterns on the entire planet for heart health. It's really about the whole picture, not just one so-called superfood. So let's compare the 2 heavyweights. On one side, you have the Mediterranean diet. It's famous for its focus on healthy fats from olive oil, fish, and nuts. A huge study called the CardioPrev study proved it can directly slow down the progression of atherosclerosis. Then, on the other side, you've got the DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It focuses heavily on fruits and veggies and is an absolute powerhouse for lowering blood pressure. Both are incredibly effective. They just take slightly different routes to get to the same goal, a healthier heart. Okay, that's the science. Now let's make it real. What does this actually look like day to day? Here is your straightforward, no-nonsense blueprint for putting all this knowledge into practice. Just think of these as your 4 core habits. First, a really simple swap. Start using healthy fats like olive oil and salmon instead of things like butter and fatty meats. Second, a quick visual check at mealtime. Make sure about half your plate is piled high with vegetables. Third, upgrade your carbs. Choose those slow-burning, fiber-rich whole grains. And fourth, make a conscious effort to work in powerhouse foods like beans and berries every week. It's simple, it's sustainable, and it is incredibly effective. And you know, what you take out is just as important as what you put in. This isn't about being perfect, it's just about reducing the stuff that causes problems. These 4 categories are the main drivers of inflammation and plaque. We're talking saturated and trans fats, added sugars that can damage artery walls, all that excess sodium that raises blood pressure, and processed meats. Just limiting these gives all those good foods a real chance to do their healing work.
So how long does all of this take? It's really important to have realistic expectations. The great news is some benefits show up pretty fast. Your blood pressure can drop in just a few weeks, especially with a DASH-style plan. And you can see better cholesterol numbers in just a couple of months. But that deep healing, that measurable plaque reversal they saw in the studies, that's the long game. That requires consistency over a couple of years.
And that right there brings us to the most crucial point of all. This is not a 30-day challenge. The real power isn't in one blueberry smoothie or a single salmon dinner. The power is in the pattern. It's about creating a way of eating that you can actually stick with, that you enjoy, and that will protect your cardiovascular system for the rest of your life.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. Don't think about overhauling your entire life tomorrow. Just think about one thing. What is the first, small, totally manageable change you're going to make based on what we've talked about today? Maybe it's just switching to olive oil for cooking. Maybe it's adding a handful of walnuts to your breakfast. Just start there.
And finally, a very important reminder. Everything we've discussed is for educational purposes. Real health decisions should always be made in partnership with a qualified healthcare professional who knows your personal medical history. So please talk to your doctor before making any major changes to your diet or your lifestyle.
Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, small choices create big changes. Keep nourishing your health with love and consistency. See you in the next Vital Elixir video.